Right, so Fiona Bruce, after her godawful "it was just the once" defence of Stanley Johnson regarding a domestic violence incident where he broke his then wife Charlotte Fawcett's nose, has stood down as an ambassador for the domestic violence charity Refuge. It should be noted that neither Bruce nor Refuge itself actually wanted this, which speaks volumes of Bruce's attitude towards what she said, it would seem, but also to the charity who still wanted their celebrity patron. But it was the weight of distress and complaint from the very people Refuge was set up to protect that forced this move. The horror and distress at Fiona Bruce's words that was caused to them. Refuge issued a statement. I won't read it all out. You can pause the video to read the whole thing. But it said basically, on Friday, we issued a statement in response to the comments read out by Fiona Bruce the previous evening in her role as host of BBC Question Time. Refuge's position was and remains clear. Domestic abuse is never a one-off. It is a pattern of behaviour that can manifest in a number of ways, including, but not limited to, physical abuse. Domestic abuse is never acceptable. We have accepted Fiona's offer to stand down as ambassador of Refuge. Bruce herself is said to be aggrieved because she was caught apparently between a rock and a hard place, having to read out what was a pre-prepared statement, as I thought it might have been. I said so in another video, despite knowing how the content may be taken by victims watching. Surely she must have known, being an ambassador for Refuge. My sympathy is with those victims here. Bruce can have my tiny violin because ultimately she chose to read out the statement. She could have refused. She chose to put herself first, effectively. She lacked the courage of her alleged convictions that ambassador role would imply that she has. Goodness knows if she'd been sanctioned over that, a lot of people would have come out in her defence because she'd have done the right thing. Instead of holding her own hands up to the appalling statement, though, instead of facing the fact that she caused pain and distress to domestic abuse victims, despite being an ambassador for Refuge for the last 25 years, would you believe? Fiona Bruce has instead claimed she had faced a social media storm which had mischaracterised what she had said. So she's going to play the victim then. Refuge says in their statement that domestic abuse is never a one-off. Fiona Bruce read out a statement on Question Time in defence of Stanley Johnson that he only broke his wife's nose once and that it was a one-off. The issue I have, aside from the obvious conflicting views on show there, is that all of this came out in a book written by Tom Bower on Charlotte Fawcett. Came out in a lot more, actually. Charlotte Fawcett being Stanley Johnson's then wife and Boris Johnson's mother. And Bower's book covers the fact that not only was Fawcett made to feel like she deserved to have her nose broken at the time of that incident, but this was far from the only incident of domestic abuse she had endured at Johnson's hands. You talk of mischaracterization, Fiona Bruce, but you left out some pretty crucial context in that statement you read out. So perhaps don't blame social media for calling out those shortcomings. Try learning from them. Take it up with your Tory bosses at the BBC. It would certainly seem fair that she does that, given they've apparently compromised her into expressing this statement, though, as I've said already, she chose to go along with that. As a result of all of this, not to mention her less than stellar track record of a host already, her morals, her scruples, her priorities, her bias have all been called into question now. And again, her fitness to adjudicate the BBC's flagship political show in an impartial way, though as we've seen over the last few days, impartiality at the BBC is at an all-time low anyway. No doubt she will carry on exactly as she has here. More people will turn off Question Time, I expect. More people will cancel their TV licenses too, perhaps. The problems for the BBC will only continue to grow until it either collapses under the weight of its publicly funded bias or it gets separated meaningfully from government so they can hold all sides to account without fear or favour. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do hit like and subscribe. Leave a comment and hit the notification bell too so you don't miss the next one. Also, look out for me on social media and other interesting stuff by clicking on the Linktree link in the comments below. And I will see you next time. Cheers, folks.